Buig die boompie terwyl hy jonk is, sê hulle, maar dit sit beslis nie in elke ou se broek om 30 spreekwoordelike boompies gelyktydig te buig nie. Hallo en welkom by Klets Kompas. Ek is Irene Marie van der Walt en vandag se onderhoud is met Juffrou Anne-Marie Mater wat reeds 30 jaar lank in die onderwys is. Sy is tans 'n onderwyseres by Swakopmund Primêre Skool. Maar voordat ons by Juffrou Mater uitkom, gaan kyk ons na die nuutste nuushooftrekke in vandag se Republikein en nou gaan julle kyk na die nuutste inskrywings in 'n Republikein se kikkie kompetisie. François Steinberg, dit was nou heeltemal te lank vandat jy laas.
Dit wat voel soos eeue laas. Ek is half op my senuwees vandag.
Weer jou eerste skooldag.
Eerste skooldag. Eerste dag voor TV.
François op vandag se Republikeinse voorblad. 22 Namibiese dollar per dag per koshuisleerling.
Sjoe. Irene, weet jy wat, toe ek in die koshuis was, het my ma $45 per kwartaal betaal. Nee, maar dit is natuurlik nou Tuka se tyd wat ek in die koshuis was en intussen het baie verander en daar word nou skool of koshuis subsidies gegee deur die omgewingsonderwysministerie en $22 per dag. Ek sien die komitee het gesê 'n brood alleen kos 14. Nee, 'n brood kos nie eers meer 14 nie. Ek was nou in die winkel. 'n Brood is nou ek dink $15.50. Maar ja, hierdie pryse moet aangepas word want hoe voed jy 'n kind op $22 'n dag? Dit is mos regtig, jy kan nie, dit is nie eers meer 'n ete nie.
Ja.
So dit is beslis iets waarna die onderwysministerie moet kyk. Ek sê altyd hou by die tye, hou net by die tye,
Ja,
bly by jy.
En my groot ding met hierdie tipe goed is, ons hoor dit keer op keer. En dan, ja, daar word in sekere wette voorsiening gemaak daarvoor, maar moet jou wet dan nie sê, hy word elke jaar aangepas met inflasie.
Volgens inflasie nie.
Ja. Jy kan nie nou in wanneer
en dit is elke begroting. In elke begroting word hierdie dinge genoem en dan word dit nie aangepas nie. So
ja, dan sê ons okay,
bly by die tye.
$22 'n kind. Ons kan dit doen. Ons kan nie. Dit is nie meer
is nie realisties nie.
Is lankal nie meer realisties nie. Dan nog iets wat ek persoonlik dink nie meer realisties is nie.
Nee, heeltemal uitpas is en wat glad nie by die tye gehou word nie. Dit is 2025.
Ek moet vir jou sê, François, daai grappie was nooit vir my snaaks nie.
Nee, dit was in elk geval nooit snaaks nie.
Soveel soos wat ek verstaan, en ek het nou die dag hierdie gesprek gehad met 'n paar ander joernaliste van ander mediahuise en toe vir hulle gesê, weet jy, ek kan nie dink dat jy in Namibië 'n rasis kan wees nie. Wit mense is 10% van die bevolking. Jy moet verskriklik ongelukkig wees. So, vir my, op die beste is hierdie 'n baie swak grappie. Jy weet,
dit is
wat nooit
dit
snaaks
is nie 'n grap nie. Dit is, en wat vir my hartseer is dat dit jong mense is. Want ek meen, hierdie leerlinge is regtig in 'n vryland gebore en dan doen jy dit. En dit is wat vir my wonderlik is van Norman Chombe, die regsverteenwoordiger wat sê, waar kom julle hier aan? Waaroor gesels julle om 'n etenstafel? So dit moet van die ouers of van die oupa, ouma of Ek weet nie hoe mense nog so praat nie, so optree nie. Ek het groot geword in 'n huis waar ons werkers saam met ons aan 'n tafel gesit en geëet het en dieselfde as ons geëet het en waar kleur nie gesien is of ervaar is nie. Dit is vir my baie erg dat dit in hierdie tye plaasvind en al wat ek wil sê is, daar is gevolge. Daar is gevolge en daar is regsgevolge. So voor jy nou weer 'n partytjie bywoon en dink jy snaaks of ek gee nie om hoeveel drank jy gedrink het nie. Daar is gevolge. Jy's in elk geval minderjarig, ja. En dis die ander probleem in ons land is van kinders sien drink al saam met hulle ouers, al is hulle nog nie 18 of wat ook al nie. Maar daar is gevolge wat jy gaan dra. Wat Norman Chombe hier genoem het van al was dit 'n private partytjie, al is dit by jou huis, weet jy, daar moet nie so in huise gepraat word of opgetree word nie.
Ja, jou ouers het jou mos gesien in dit by die as my kind so by die huis het. Ek soek nie kinders nie, maar as my kind so by die huis stap, hy kry 'n goeie Afrikaner pak slaag.
Jy mag ook nie dit doen, Irene, dis ook teen die wet. Dis ook 2025, hou by die tye.
maar dis vir my net so, dis een van daai dinge wat, weer eens kom ons by my huis. Jy weet, jy het nie daai woord gesê nie, jy het dit nie gedink nie, jy het nie eers erken dat so 'n woord bestaan nie. Dit was nie 'n woord in jou woordeskat nie. Dit is nou nog nie 'n woord wat ek selfs in my brein kan opbring nie. Want dit bestaan nie in my woordeskat nie. Jy weet, ons is van kleins af groot gemaak dat ander mense het ander kulture as jy en dit is die mooi in die lewe.
Maar die leerlinge van hierdie se ouers is dalk nie so groot gemaak nie, maar ek meen ek is nie meer 'n jong mens nie en ek is ook nie so
en jy as jong mens, soms het ek gehoor dat ouma en oupa nou nie noodwendig rasse goed sê nie, maar dinge sê dan dink jy by jouself, yes, maar
hou by die tye en ons bly in 'n wonderlike vry land, so
en geniet daai vryheid en geniet die feit dat jy ander mense se kultuur en se manier van lewe kan werklik ervaar.
En geniet die kulturele diversiteit. Dit is wat vir my wonderlik is.
Dit is die mooi aan hierdie land, dit is die mooi aan 'n Namibier wees, is dat daar ander mense is wat anders is as jy, wat ander kulture het. En jy kan dit beleef en jy kan met hulle daarin deel.
Kan ons nog goeie nuus gee?
Asseblief.
Ja, baie dankie aan die Duitse ambassade wat vir Senior Park 'n bydrae gegee het, 'n groot bydrae van 460 000. So hierdie bejaardes het nou weer geysers wat warm water gee. Die geysers werk weer. So dit is wonderlik. En dan 'n hofstorie dat renosterbewaring vir mynbou bloedneuse gegee het. Daar's nou hierdie afgelope tyd is dis in en uit die hof, maar daar was nou weer 'n uitspraak dat hierdie kleinskaalse mynbouers asseblief geen swaar masjinerie en skietwerk nie. Daar in die deel van Kunene streek is daar swart renosters. Regtig, ons is die enigste land in hierdie wêreld met vrylopende swart renosters. Ons het pas nuus ingekry van 'n derde renoster wat gestroop is. Adam Hartman het pas vir ons daai nuus deurgestuur. Ek wil nie sê watter distrik dit is nie. So hierdie is ons goud. Ons moet dit oppas. Ek verstaan ook dat 'n ontwikkeling moet wees en daar is 'n plek vir kleinskaalse mynbou in sekere en vir mynbou in sekere dele van ons land, maar bly weg van die skietwerk wat hierdie renosters verjaag. En dit is ek dink 'n oorwinning, maar ons sal nou daar sal seker weer hofsaake wees. Ek dink hierdie ding gaan, ek weet nie of dit ooit gaan ophou nie, die een dag vaar die ander en dis interdik op interdik. Maar vir my persoonlik is dit ek dink ook veral vir die Red Renoster, vir die Save the Rhino Trust Namibia. So dit was my eerste persoon wat ek gister gebel het, was vir Simson Oerikop en wat sê, hierdie waarnemende regter snap wat is bewaring.
Ja, my groot ding is net, jy hoef nie die een of die ander te hê nie. Daar's 'n plek vir mynbou en daar's 'n plek vir bewaring en hulle hoef nie op dieselfde grond mynbou kan floreer en bewaring.
En
Ons het
bewaring kan
genoeg
floreer.
plek, ons het genoeg oop spasie. Ons hoef nie te kies nie.
Ja, en dit is regtig dis 'n bedreigde spesies.
Ja. Ja.
En ons het stropery.
Ja.
En hierdie deel is toerisme gebaseer. Dis gemeenskappe wat wie se inkomste afhanklik is van hierdie swart renosters. So moenie die gemeenskappe se lewenslyn afsny nie.
Okay, baie dankie dat jy by ons was, Françoise. Ons het nou ons hartse sake uitgepraat hier. So van hartse sake na weerse sake. Ons gaan kyk nou hoe maak jy weer met jou môre.
Life is unpredictable and one needs to be protected against any eventuality. Get Santam legal access from as little as $50 Namibian a month for when you find yourself in need of legal representation due to civil cases, criminal prosecution, and family matters such as divorce, child maintenance, and custody. It also covers labor disputes, disciplinary hearings, and unfair dismissal or retrenchment. With Santam Legal Access, you'll receive free legal advice on almost every legal aspect, whether the specific matter is covered by your policy or not. For true peace of mind and legal protection when you need it most, call us on 061 292 8000. Santam. This is freedom.
Dit is môre uiteindelik Vrydag, so kom ons gaan kyk hoe lyk jou naweek weer. Op Katima Mulilo 'n reënerige dag met 'n minimum van 20 grade Celsius en 'n maksimum van 31. Op Windhoek in die hoofstad 'n minimum van 20 grade Celsius en 'n maksimum van 30 met 'n gedeeltelik bewolkte dag daar. Ook gedeeltelik bewolk op Oshakati met 'n minimum van 24 grade Celsius en 'n maksimum van 33. Op Swakopmund steeds gedeeltelik bewolk met 'n minimum van 13 grade Celsius en 'n maksimum van 15 grade Celsius, maar weer reënerig op Arranos met 'n minimum van 20 grade Celsius en 'n maksimum van 33 en gedeeltelik bewolk op Reebot met 'n minimum van 19 grade Celsius en 'n maksimum van 33.
We bring you luxury, lifestyle and location. My.NA Property takes you inside Namibia's most stunning homes, high-end developments and hidden gems. Catch us every Tuesday at 9 p.m. because every space has a story, only on NTV.
Adam Hartman het onlangs vir Brave Namibia gaan aanklop by juffrou Annemarie Mater, wat 'n onderwyseres is by Swakopmund Primêre Skool. Kom ons gaan kyk.
I'm a teacher from the 90s already, and I started here immediately. The school was very dear to me, as I was also a learner in the school, and I was the whole time here. So we are currently at Swakopmund Primary in the Grade 3 corridor, and I became a teacher, and I wanted to become a teacher since I was 6 years old, and my mind never changed. I was all the years I was like just telling myself how I'm going to do it differently. So yes, that is why I became a teacher, to make a difference in their lives. I am now many years a counselor. So that part started when I became a counselor, and to be there for the kids emotionally. And then the one child, that is my very first experience. I never knew that there were learners like this in our school. So the one incident where the child said, I can't wait for next Friday. And I said, what is happening next Friday? So he said, that is when we will eat again. So yes, and that was like a big shock to me and an eye-opener. And then I immediately make work of it to get some food and start a soup kitchen. And then I saw the kids whose clothes were torn, and then I thought, yo, I have to make a plan. So I actually got some quotations, and then I actually, the one sent me, phoned me back, and she said, how happy am I with the quotation? So it was actually the most expensive one. So I wanted to be very tactful, and I told her, you know, I can see its quality and what, but my problem is I have to take it now to the sponsors, and I have to try to stretch the money as far as possible to help as many kids as possible. So she was first quiet, and I wonder why she's so quiet, but okay, maybe I offended her. And then she said, you just convinced me to clear up my whole store of many years. And then she sent me a whole lorry full of different stuff that we could use. And in that box was also in the 90 socks. So these, I thought, okay, now I have to go and check who will get that. And at the first class, I asked the kids who needs socks. So there were so many. So I asked the teacher, can they please come out with me? So I took them out and I said, sorry to ask this, but you know, I have to give it now to the right people. And I'm so sorry to say this, but please, can you take out off so that I can see who needs it now? You know, I must make sure. And the one hole was bigger than the other one. I still have a picture of that when I took it, because I realized, wow, I just took a photo of the problem. And then I gave it to the biggest holes. I remember the one only had a piece in the middle of the sock. So already in the first corridor, all the socks were gone. And I also saw that underneath their feet, they were, it was like big holes. I only see it at the top, and then I only saw that how big holes are under their shoes. Then I realized, oh, I have to do something. And that is actually how everything started. I gave out a survey where I actually asked the learners, you know, the problems they experience, because the government is actually expecting from us, you know, how many orphans are there, how many vulnerable learners, and there's different categories where they can be vulnerable in. So we saw they had to fill in some of the problems, like I'm sad at school, you know, all that questions that are asked, who wants to speak to a trustworthy person who gets bullied maybe. So these kids are now like in like a few hundred that I'm currently busy with counseling. So luckily I have 2 people that help me with it. And then I'm also putting on Facebook the problems. I've counted how many are sleeping cold at night, not who wants a blanket, who's sleeping cold. They didn't know that that is what I will want to do with the information. So I put it on Facebook last week, the 17th, and people started to phone me. The first or the second day already, a person from Knit-a-Bit, she phoned me and said they have a lot of people who knit all over Namibia. So she will contact this, they will put it on the group, and then they will make it, finish us a few, like 16, and they will also send it to us. It was supposed to come today, but it will be on Saturday. So that's 100%, you know. And then in this week, Tuesday, a person phoned me from the motor club, the motorcycle club, and they said they also want to sponsor. So that same evening, they came, you will see it on the clip, they came with all these blankets, the soft ones, 16 of them, because I first said the first immediate need is 16, but we are still doing the survey. of the smaller classes. So they brought us all these blankets. I also put it on our WhatsApp groups from the parents from pre-primary to grade 7 and asked them if there's a blanket that's extra at home, please send it to school. You know, so and stationery we need, and we also like toiletries. If I see a child maybe that's a little bit it's not on standard, you know, we have a school bank, so I asked the uniform bank, so I asked the parents and on Facebook, if you know, if your child is out of the school, please please drop it at our school. If it's too small, please drop. And so we help the kids when the need is there. So yeah, that is what we're doing, and also toiletries, you know. So with the uniform, I wanted to mention that. Then I give them washing powder, you know. So that is the kind of stuff that we are doing at school. Okay, to the kids, it's giving them hope. So you know, if you're without hope, life is so much tougher. So it gives them hope, and then they can try more. The parents, they are really grateful. They also send me messages to thank me and say thank you so much. And for me, it's making my life content. You know, there's so many kids, and so many who need help. When you look at the surveys, it's an eye-opener. So that is my greatest challenge, to try to get them sponsors, because the parents really are in desperate need. So my sister told me that I must see it as there were many sea stars lying at the beach that needs to be thrown back. And she has told me, you know, for everyone you throw back, you must be grateful for. So every small contribution I appreciate. Doesn't matter how big or how small, it helps somebody. Somebody told me once, your hands are full of blessings. And before you can be blessed again, you need to let go. You know, the story of the hummingbird, it was, you know, there was one forest that was burning, and every animal, it was their habitat, but they all saw how it was burning. But the small one flew to and fro to some water, go and take that one drop, put it on the fire, and, you know, to and fro the whole time getting some water, go back. And the animals were actually insulting him. Sorry for my French. Idiot, well, how can you do it? Sorry for that. And then they stopped him while he was going. He didn't stop, he didn't care what they were calling him. So he said, hummingbird, what are you doing? So he said, I'm doing the best I can. So if we all can be like the hummingbird, you know, doing that small thing that you see is possible in your life, then it will be so great. You know, it also makes you feel content. Like if you have things at home, also even if you have your fridge shot to full and you realize it, you can just come and drop it here at our school. We have a very big freezer. We are blessed with a very big freezer. And also, yeah, anything that you see your kids don't want to eat, do them that favor. You can just drop it at our office or contact me. I say my number, 081 291 7633. And they can also look on my Facebook page, Anna-Marie Basson Mate. And I find always a sponsor or owner for everything I receive. Even, you know, sometimes the people's houses burn down, I can give them clothes, you know, so that is nice.
Daarmee die einde van vandag se episode van Klets Kompas. Baie dankie dat jy by ons aangesluit het. Onthou, ons is maandag weer terug om 12:30 op Netwerk Televisie weer om 12:30. Dit is DStv kanaal 285 en GoTV kanaal 25 as ook oneup2.com. Maar tot maandag is dit mooi bly.